So the first thing that you need to make this fermentation vessel is a keg. There's plenty of resources out there on how to take the stem out of the keg, so I'm not going to cover that. But I did notice that there are two different styles of stems. This one here, you can see how it has these little wings on the side. Makes it a lot easier to disassemble this. I'll cover that here shortly. And I found this other style where it uses these little channels here, so it makes it a little bit more difficult to apply the pressure since you don't have those wings to push on. So I'll cover taking both of these apart here. Alright, so here is a way that you can disassemble the style that has the wings on it. The basic idea is you want to be able to get this piece out, and you can see how it's attached here by these little notches. So the idea is to push it down and then twist it out, and then the whole thing will pop up. You can use a few different tools. I'm sure there's many methods of doing this. This is just how I've done it. I've used a pair of needle nose pliers, basically the end of it. This is more of a pipe wrench here, but the idea is this soft material gives some grip, and then it allows you to apply the pressure evenly and twist. So all I did was put the pliers there like that. Make sure that one handle is on two of the wings and another one is on the other wing. Put the pressure down and then twist it. I got it just enough to where I can take another pair of pliers and twist it all the rest of the way off. There you go. So this other stem is going to probably be a little bit more difficult than the other one, mainly because there's no wing here to apply the pressure. So what I used was some needle nose pliers. I don't think you need to worry about the vice grips, but just something really long and thin. You mainly want to make sure that it can clear this channel here. You're going to also want some finishing nails or something that is small, relatively small, so it stays out of the way, but it needs to be able to fit in between the slot here in order to keep that piece right here down, and you want it to clear this part here, that bump. So what I did was take the needle nose pliers, just kind of clamp it in between the bottom slot there and that top part, and just push that piece down, just like that, right there. And then while it's down, insert one of the nails. So you want it to be like that. Make sure the nail is applied close to that bump right there, as opposed to back here, because when you move the pressure over, it's going to slide. So you want to make sure that it's already pushed up against that, so it more or less stays in place. So you can see that I got all three of those nails on there. Be extremely careful, because if you're not getting enough of the nail inside, these things can kind of pop out, and they shoot out pretty good. So be extremely careful doing this. Might even want to wear some eye protection. So the next step is take your needle nose pliers, you want to try to find one of these wing parts, the part that we're trying to remove out, that's sticking out, because you're going to want to grab it and use this other part here to hold the needle nose in and slide the whole piece over. I'm not going to be able to get this on camera very well, but I'm going to try it. Alright, hopefully you can see how I got that piece just enough over the bump. So that means all three of them are also cleared that part. So now you can kind of remove, add some pressure to the piece there to remove the nail. It will hold itself at that point. Alright, so you can see it was a little more difficult, but we got it out. Okay, so now we have this disassembled. We don't need any of these pieces except for this part here. The rest of this stuff you can just toss away, recycle, or maybe repurpose it for something else. The idea is this middle part here is going to hold a number 7 stopper, and then we're just going to drill 2 holes in that stopper, and then we're going to apply a washer that's going to fit in between these 2 pieces here to allow for the pressure to build up.